Now let's talk a little bit about gameplay.
Yeah, so the very first thing that we recommend doing is play the classic game first. Get familiar with the flow of Doomlings, the ages and the eras, and set aside all those expansions. Play about 5 games before you start using the expansion.
Get comfortable with the mechanics of the game. The best way to identify the expansion cards in the set, first of all, they'll be packaged together, so that'll be the easiest way to identify them. But as you play more and more and your cards just get mixed up as you put them back after playing, what you can do is go back through and just look at the top right corner of the cards.
That's a Dino-Ling.
Look for the expansion symbol, so that's a Dino-Ling.
Real close.
Yeah, it's a little out of focus. This is there's a little dragon icon for Mythlings. For dual color, you'll notice that there are 2 colors on the card, so just take those out. And then Techlings will have a little gear symbol in the top right. And then the last expansion is the Meaning of Life. The Meaning of Life cards are gonna have a unique card back that says Meaning of Life. So
you'll see them right.
Really easy to identify. Let's talk about some general tips while you're playing. First thing, after you've dealt your cards, take that time while your opponents are thinking of what play to make to just take a second, read the effects on any cards that you might have, and that will help you determine, what card to play. Take advantage of that time because, it could determine what your strategy is going forward.
I also think that in addition to speeding up the gameplay, oftentimes people assume that Doomlings is a very reactionary game where it's like, you did this, so I did that. It's not. It's actually very personal to you and your strategy. Yes, you're engaging with your players, but we're kind of all in this together, not sure when the catastrophe is going to strike. And so because of that, the more time you can be spending reading your cards, the better your strategy and gameplay will be.
And even after you play the card and it's in your trait pile, which is where you're gonna tally up all your points, have it in the back of your mind what cards you've played.
And when in doubt, just play the cutest card. The card will tell you what to do. When you're first getting to play the game, everyone read the card you are playing out loud. So when you play a trait, there will be usually an effect, sometimes it'll be effectless, but read it out loud so that the entire table can get to learn the card.
Speaking of trait piles, don't be afraid to, in addition to checking out your trait pile, don't be afraid to just kind of go around the table and look at what other players have in their trait pile, because what is going to happen is you're going to get a card, maybe you get a card like Juicy, which allows you to swap 2 traits between any 2 trait piles. So now you're going to want to take a second and figure out, whose card do I want to take and what card do I want to give them.
Go window shopping.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And if anybody has a problem with it, then find some new friends.
Okay, so the next tip we have is when you are swapping cards with an opponent, think about the net swing of those points, not just what you're getting or what you're getting rid of. So a great example of this might be if, let's say, me and Chris and Justice are playing a game of Doomlings, and let's say Justice is winning. He's winning by 4 points, and I am in second place and Chris is in last place.
Unlikely.
In this hypothetical scenario, Justice is winning by 4 points ahead of me. If I were to trade him, let's say, a -1 point card for a 3-point card, I would effectively be reducing his score by 3, adding to my score by 3, so that's a 6-point swing, plus giving Justice a -1 point score. I'd be removing -1 from mine, so that's a 7-point swing, and giving Justice -1, which is actually an 8-point swing. Versus if I were to make that same trade with Chris, he and I might make an 8-point swing, but I'd only be gaining 4 points, getting rid of a negative and getting 3 positive, and I'd be now tied with Justice versus ahead of him. So you want to start thinking like 3-dimensionally once you get familiar with the cards. You also just want to think about the net value of your cards when you're playing them in your own trait pile. And a reason might be a card called Tiny, which seems like a really powerful card, 17 points, except when you read the effect, which says it's actually reducing in value by -1 each trait you play. So when you play another trait, think of that trait as needing to be at least worth 2 points. If you were to play a 1-point card, you're reducing Tiny by 1, and so your net is 0, so you're not really helping yourself. So there are a few cards throughout the game that are affected that way.